Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Where Are They Now? Today's topic of discussion is going to be Velveteen Dream. Talk about someone ruining their career by themselves and just absolutely blowing it up. This story is insane. So if you remember Dream back in NXT, he was one of the hottest acts. And let's start from the beginning. In 2015, Dream competed on WWE's Tough Enough series at the time. He did not win the contest, however, he impressed WWE officials so much that they signed him to a contract. So in 2017, he made his debut on NXT. Now, before the debut, about 3 weeks prior, there started to be vignettes, and these started on May 3rd, 2017. So there was vignettes every week hyping up the debut of this Velveteen Dream guy. Nobody really knew what it was about. And then on May 24th, he finally made his debut where he defeated Robert Anthony. The first time we saw Dream in the main event scene comes in September, where he interrupted Aleister Black, and he constantly stalked him and harassed him until he got a match. And his main goal was to make Aleister Black say his name. This was a weird era in NXT upon the booking and stuff like that. So I guess at the time it made sense. And he got his match against Aleister Black at NXT TakeOver War Games, in which he would go on to lose. Then after that, Dream was competing on NXT and stuff like that. And the next major thing that happens is Dream was supposed to become the number one contender for the NXT Championship. But an injury sidelined him in that. And he was replaced in the match by Johnny Gargano, who would go on to win and win the number one contendership. Dream managed to capture the audience of NXT and become one of the most talked about wrestlers of all time. He had feud with Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT title in 2018, but he would go on to lose. But then in February of 2019, Dream would go on to win the Worlds Collide tournament, which earned him a championship title match of his choosing down in NXT. So at the time, he can go for the North American Championship or the NXT Men's Championship, and he would opt to go for the NXT North American Championship. And he finally got that match in February. He would defeat Johnny Gargano, who was the current champion, to become the NXT North American Champion. And this was Dream's first title under WWE. And he would go on to hold the title for 231 days, and that was the longest streak that anyone's had the title for until Wesley beat it just a year ago. And so Dream held the title, he had a great reign with it until he eventually lost to Roderick Strong on an episode of NXT, in which the Undisputed Era would help Roderick Strong win the title. So he would take time off due to injury after that, and he returned in 2020. And at this point, his career really started to go downhill. Right after he lost the feud with Cole, Dream was in a car accident which sidelined him once again with an injury. Dream's final match would come on December 23rd, 2020, where he would defeat Adam Cole. And in 2020, the same year in 2020, Dream was accused of inappropriate conduct with multiple minors during the Me Too movement. You can pause that and read it if you want, but it's pretty disturbing. So WWE, they looked into the allegations and they couldn't find any evidence to prove it, but they also couldn't prove anything to deny it. So Dream was just sidelined for a little bit. And then after a few months went by, when, the dust kind of settled, they put Dream back on TV, and they just put him in the mid-card. But then, when they put him back on television, the fans got riled up again. And you started seeing this everywhere, Fire Velveteen Dream. It was on the screens during the shows. It was trending on Twitter for multiple weeks, straight. Everybody wanted Dream to be fired. And then finally, of May 20th, 2021, Dream was released from his WWE contract. So right after his release, he went on a few interviews and tried to clear his name and trying to fix what was broken, but ultimately, the damage was already done. And after that, he went off the grid. He wasn't on social media or anything. So at this time, Dream had a few questionable things before him, and during one of his matches at NXT TakeOver, he had a Bring Me Up Vince on his tights during a pay-per-view, and he was sort of a wild card, and there was moments where he would have heat backstage and stuff. Actually, recently, I forgot to put this in, but recently EC3 came out making a statement that Dream would film people in the locker room of NXT without their permission. So it's really, really weird. In August of 2022, Dream was arrested. The first time he was arrested for battery, and he made bail. But less than a week later, 6 days to be exact, he was arrested again, this time for an out-of-state warrant for possession charges, and he was held on a no-bail status. In September of that same year, he was released from jail. For 2023, Dream wasn't really doing much. He was forgotten about. Based off of his Instagram post, it seems that he was just traveling around the world, viewing the world, and, just living his life. So in 2024, or in 2023, Dream came out, and there was a lot of rumors saying that, Dream might be returning to WWE, but those rumors were shut down really quick. And then, in February of 2024, Velveteen Dream made his return, I should say, to the wrestling ring. He is now going by the name Velveteen Man instead of Velveteen Dream. And this return happened at an indie promotion called Dynasty. But once that happened, fans were once again outraged that he got booked anywhere based off of his past. And the owner of Dynasty came out saying that Dream deserved a second chance and that they were the only ones who would take a chance on him. So now today, Velveteen Dream is now wrestling throughout the indie circuit. But it seems like he is struggling to get bookings. And all of this could have been avoided. I don't have an opinion on what happened. The DMs were showed, and that's all I need to see. Velveteen Dream, he could have been a world champion. Heck, he might be a world champion now if the events that happened did not happen. And then after that, after he got released, he could have made it better. He could have worked on himself and worked his way back to WWE. They had Matt Riddle on the roster for a while after all that stuff happened. But instead, Dream would go on to destroy his career more and more, getting arrested twice in 1 week. That's got to be a record. For at least wrestlers, I guess. But let me know if you guys like this style of video, and let me know who do you want to see next. And I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.